Today is a new day to start again. Take each moment one by one and do the best you can. Yesterday doesn't matter, it only serves as a ladder. Tomorrow isn't guaranteed, so make your plans accordingly. Today is a new day to start again. Take each moment one by one and do the best you can. Grand Rising, today is a new day to start again. It is 12/31/2024. That felt pretty good to say. That felt pretty good to say. Where'd that come from? I think you get a little bit of that dialectic that comes from somewhere. That's the speaking of tongues. 12/31/2024. 12/31/2024. Woo! I don't know. I didn't know that we would make it with me still having a normal situation. It is an interesting video for me. I have wrote a bunch down here, and I'm going to try to stay on script because it looks pretty entertaining. I got a lot of little circles and lines, and I'm going to try to stay on course. I'm going to sing a little bit probably. This is a big day for me. 2024 was an eventful. I'm to keep doing it. I'm going to try to roll through this because I think it's meaningful to keep my presence. I am struggling with speaking right now, so I'm going to take a sip of coffee. I'm going to rub my rock. I'm going to recenter. We're going to get right back into it. Black new moon in Capricorn. It's a new moon. It's a super moon, but we can't see it. There's a lot of explanations for that. It is in Capricorn, so where the moon is positioned, it's in the constellation of Capricorn, which I want to look into today. I have the day off, so I have a little, what I do now is I write little to-do things of me investigating if I want to spend some time, because I want to be valuable with what I'm doing, and sometimes little sparks are things that will help you. It's kind of like when people go to the Bible and they find verses that are pertinent. New Year's Eve 2024 is the calendar name of where we are in the calendar. Ain't got no kisses for me on midnight. I've never really gotten the girl. I was married, and I don't want to downplay my marriage, but it was a different relationship. I'm just a different kind of bloke. I think bloke is a pretty good terminology for me, even though I don't even know what bloke means. I will look into that later. I do crave validation and acknowledgement. I do like when people like my videos because it makes me feel like what I did was worthwhile. But really, I'm doing it for myself. There's several videos I've got that got no likes. I get 2 likes for myself. Every video gets 2 likes, but not that that is what I'm looking for, but in general, I think that people want validation for what they've done and what they're doing moving forward, acknowledgement. But more than that for me is the resonance. I like to see reason in play. That's what I call resonance. Things that are like, that's what we need. I like when a bully is put in place, just because the negative effects of what the bully does comes back to roost. I just like that. I like the roost. I like justice. But more than that, I like the overcoming of adversity. I like the 1 becoming 2, becoming 3, becoming 4, becoming, a force to be reckoned with. And that can be very powerful. And I think that's one of the reasons why there's so much control. But it's organic is the way that our natural humanity should be working. We can use this, but ultimately we have to use the other things that we've been gifted. And the realm, we're not really using anything. We should be just trying to go along with what is to be. I went straight into Uncle. Like whenever somebody has you down and you're supposed to say, uncle, 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 that means you concede. Isn't that strange how that gets into our lexicon? What does that mean? And then I started thinking about the Game of Thrones series with Tyrion Lannister is the small person, the little person. I don't know what you're supposed to call. I call them dwarves. Aren't they dwarves? I'm going to get in trouble for that one. Anyways, Tyrion, he smacks this young kid that is soon to be king, unbeknownst to others. There was just a couple plays that had to happen, though, for him to become king, and that's what ends up happening. And Tyrion is the uncle, but he actually isn't the uncle, so none of this really relates, because Game of Thrones is very confusing anyways. Because when you play the Game of Thrones, you either win or you die, or some stupid stuff like that. So I go straight in. I'm going to stay on script. This could be very long. So if you have nothing to do on your New Year's Eve like me, watch this video and give me a like. I took the road less traveled. I've always been that way. I've always resonated with that, probably in my hat and kind of my look. Numbers count, take account. Sequences, trends, predict, prognosticate. Nostradamus. Why is it not perfect? Because we don't know. Watching the wind blow is basically waiting for rain, hoping it stops. Numbers do lie, like the weathermen lie. The proof is in the pudding. What's it taste like? What's the results? Enough is enough. The Millennial New Year, 1999, is probably my most eventful New Year. I was young Davy Clark, was delivering pizzas. I was putting more effort into me being a pizza delivery driver than I was in going to college. But I was in the middle of my college career and living in Bloomington, Indiana, going to college, delivering pizzas, single, 1999. Everybody was making a big deal about this 2000 Millennial New Year. And I decided on the 30th that maybe it wouldn't be a bad idea to go somewhere and have fun and make it eventful. And a friend of mine had a brother that lived in Ponte Verde, Florida. And somehow we concocted this idea that we could drive down there, spend Millennial New Year in Ponte Verde, Florida, and then be back to be able to work on New Year's Day at 4. There's way more drive time than actual time in Ponte Verde. Probably. I think, yeah, definitely. So, and no sleep was going to be involved in this venture. My idea was, for some reason, I wanted to, well, I mean, in a perfect world, have the girl of my dreams with me on the beach, in the middle of like this moment with the moon, or where, I don't even know if the moon was out, but anyways, that was my play of it in my fantasy of my head. What I will say is, in the end of it, I ended up on the beach alone, which is what I wanted, either with or without. I wanted to be on the beach, and I enjoyed it. I was not a responsible person. It's not a good story to tell. I don't have a good moral value through the entire thing, honestly. We had no business doing what we did. And what's really kind of ironic about the whole thing, and such is my life, is I think somewhere I got righteous with my friend and his brother and alienated myself with my righteousness. And I ended up on the beach alone. And when I came home the next day, they had alluded that he had a hot tub, his older brother, and they alluded that they had 3 women in a hot tub and had this great night while I was on the beach by myself. I don't know if any of that was true, but I thought all of it was pretty funny. It's not a great story of righteousness, actually, but it was, I had a moment there and we did it. It was spontaneous. It was something that I've always wanted to do, so I really enjoyed it. I'm staring at the man in the mirror. I'm asking him to change his ways. And no message could have been any clearer. If you want to make the world a better place, you better look at yourself and make that change. I just jump into songs sometimes. I love that song. It's one of my favorites. I'm not big on the Michael Jackson thing. Very strange stuff, but I listened to that song this morning. I get the chills sometimes when I hear it, and most of the time, actually, unless I'm just in a really bad mood and I don't want to look in the mirror. But that song, what it shows to me as I was listening to it and listening to the lyrics is, it is the way. Like looking in the mirror, holding yourself account, and then making that change. That is what changes everything. And if everyone does that, that's what changes the world. And that is why change. There's something to that. You get change back when you buy something. Loose change in your pocket. I could do without change. I don't like carrying all that stuff. But if I can change, and yous can change, everybody can change. Anybody know what that came from? That was a big moment in my life. What a great, Americana moment. I think he even had a flag around him. But that's the way. That's truly the way. You can overcome. That's where the Tao Te Ching is so impressive, I think, too, is it talks a lot about the small becoming large, but oftentimes the smallest action in the biggest moments is what really does it. But to be able to be prepared to do that, you've got to be able to look in the mirror. It's okay. It can't hurt you. Some days you do not want to look in the mirror, but those are the days that you should. If you can only reflect while you look at it, it can't hurt you. It can only reflect, right? It can't hurt you. It can't come get you. It's a mirror. Have you ever seen a dog? It can't hurt you. But you can't stand there and look at a mirror all day long, but it's useful. In nature, you'll find it all over. You can find mirrors everywhere. Mirror, mirror on the wall. Don't look too long. Don't get the resting bitch face. I think my game face could probably be considered a resting bitch face. Let's see if I can do it. I'm going to go straight into game face, what I would play poker with. What do you think? Did you know what I have? If I could change the world, I would be the sunlight in your universe. Faith is what you want. I think going back to my original, what we're looking for, all of us, is we crave that validation with our flesh, with ourself, with our name, our daily life. We crave acknowledgement. And I think what that is basically we want others to have faith in us. So we have to give faith to others. Have a little faith in me. I think that's what I've always really just wanted was, what you want, baby, I got it. What you need, you know I got it. All I'm asking is for a little respect from me, just a little bit. When you come home, RESPECT, find out what it means to me. RESPECT, take care, TCB. I don't know, I didn't flow that. It was pretty tough. I'm not Aretha Franklin. I probably shouldn't have put that one in there. I did look into TCB. So literally it says RESPECT, find out what it means to me. RESPECT, take care of business. So what the line is TCB is taking care of business. Take care of taking care of business. I guess is what it really comes down to. Do what you're supposed to do. That's what it comes down to. And then you'll get the respect. Taking care of business every day. Woo! How do you get there? You got to go a little lower, I think. Taking care of business every day. I can't hit there. There's that whine voice where it's right in the weird flow where some days my flow seems to work with it, and then other days it just sounds like I'm whining. So I'm not even going to sing that part. That's a good song though. That taking care of business. I want to sing it. It's all nine, it says in that line of I've been taking care of business. It's all nine. I like that. I never even knew that was in there. That's one thing I love about like going through this stuff and finding different. It's all nine. Nine is such a. They just throw stuff in, and it's really cool to see that kind of thing. Taking care of business and working overtime workout. So the resolution of the new year. Holy cow, we're at 16 minutes. I'm not restarting this sucker. We've got too much in here. I've made a fool of myself about 4 times. Do you know what the fool archetype is? That's what I identify with. I really am just a fool. I'm just a fool. But my resolution, be resolute. It's the black new moon. I'm definitely spending some time today to understand the new moon and the black new moon. But I think what you're supposed to do on a day like today, it is an important day. Not because it's New Year's, but because it's a black new moon and it's super. You need to put your intent into it. If you don't know what you want, look in your reflection. Mirror in the sky, what is love? Can the child in my heart rise above? Use your reflection to see forward and then go. 2024 went from the worst year of my life for 364 days to the best year of my life in one day. Literally. Excuse me while I kiss the sky. I am going to look up tonight. That's what I'm going to do. And I'm going to kiss the sky. Because I hope it's clear. I might wish upon a star. One thing that's really important, I think, to do is to go to the mirror in the sky. What is love? And say, I am lovable. I am worthy of love. If you start with that, that can make a huge impact on your life and then everyone else's life around you. I circled down to the movie Mrs. Doubtfire with Robin Williams. And what I will say is, if you got anything in you and you can watch that movie and not cry at the end, you're stronger than I am. How about that? That's where we're going to leave it. The Tao is great. Do great. Be great. Have an awesome day out there.